It's October, and I wanted to make some fun content for my favorite time of year. And you know what? Horror movies are a year round thing in my house, but especially this time of year. However, what's almost as fun as watching these movies is learning some crazy and spooky trivia about them. From real life bodies showing up on a film set to the number one spot, which even blew me away being a diehard film fan. So, y'all want to stick around to the end for that. So sit back, get some cider, and enjoy these amazing horror movie trivia. Before we begin, please consider giving this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more great content. Now, back to the video. Whether or not you believe there was a real life haunting in Amityville, New Jersey is up to you. However, the film series has turned a scary huge profit since it debuted in 1979. Though panned by critics in its original run, 2005's remake of the Amityville Horror has scared up a loyal cult following over the years, especially considering this stars a pre-Deadpool Ryan Reynolds in a very different role. However, the cast and crew reported that strange things happened behind the scenes, just like in the book/movie, the cast and crew, including Reynolds, would wake up unexpectedly at 3:15. Melissa George plays Kathy Lutz, and in preparation for the role, met her real-life counterpart. Tragically, the real Kathy Lutz died just a week into filming. This would, by George's account, put a bad omen on the production. While the strange wake-ups could be chalked up to good old-fashioned marketing, and Kathy Lutz dying an eerie coincidence, what the cast/crew discovered is a deadly fact. While filming at the boathouse, Melissa George and crew were informed that a dead body washed ashore. This truly gave me chills when I discovered this. We can all take a deep breath and say, it's only a movie, it's only a movie. After all, when the credits roll and the lights come back on, we're all safe and sound. However, the following fiction film villains are based on real life people. Scream scribe Kevin Williamson was inspired to write the hit 90s horror film while researching Danny Rawlin, aka the Gainesville Ripper. What does Leatherface, Norman Bates, and Buffalo Bill all have in common? They're all based loosely on Ed Gein. Gein didn't have a high body count, though using flesh as a crafting material has gained him infamy. So, The Strangers is, holy crap, such a scary movie because the idea of a home invasion, while unlikely, is still very realistic and completely horrifying. The killers in The Strangers are based partially off of the Manson family and the random home invasion/murder of Tate and LaBianca. The family would also do what was called creepy crawls, which would be them just breaking into random people's houses and just messing around with stuff, which, holy crap, is so unnerving. Stephen King has a boundless imagination for conjuring up stuff scary, both creature and human. Yet, for his killer in Misery named Annie Wilkes, she was based off of real life female nurse/killer Janine Jones. The Exorcist is not only a classic, but is considered one of the greatest horror movies ever made. Over the years, rumors that the production was cursed haunt this film to this very day. While you may or may not believe this, it is well documented that the filming was a living hell for the cast and crew, with an on-set fire, the death of an actor, and injuries to both Ellen Burstyn and Linda Blair, just to name a few. The end result, though, was a monster hit, and audiences were so scared that some passed out and even vomited during screenings. Despite having some truly scary makeup effects and an intense exorcism scene, it's a medical procedure that many viewers, both then and now, consider to be the most disturbing. In the novel written by William Peter Blatty, the character of Reagan McNeil undergoes a medical procedure called a cerebral angiogram. While researching this in Washington, D.C., director William Friedkin watched this procedure being performed by a lab tech named Paul Bateson. The young director was so impressed by Bateson's charm and ease, he decided to put him in the film. Real medical professionals have praised this scene for being incredibly authentic, but also a rare instance of this procedure being performed, as it is basically obsolete now. Later, it was revealed that Bateson was guilty of a series of unsolved murders of gay men dubbed the Bag Murders. Bateson is currently serving time in prison. Jeffrey Dahmer is considered one of the most vile serial killers in US history. After his ghastly crimes came to light, it was revealed that the young man had an obsession with The Exorcist 3. Dahmer claimed to see himself in the fictional Gemini killer, and notably in the film, this fictional murderer kills a young African American boy and later decapitates him. Even more disturbing, it came to light that Dahmer would show victims the film. His final would-be victim, who thankfully escaped, provided some deeper insight. He claimed that Dahmer would rock back and forth during the movie, sometimes chanting, and the serial killer especially enjoyed the finale with a possessed Karis. Speaking of which, Dahmer would sometimes wear yellow contact lenses to mimic Karis in this scene, as well as the Emperor from another one of his favorite movies, Return of the Jedi. The Gemini killer is of course based on real-life serial killer the Zodiac, so an uncut serial killer inspiring another one is really unnerving. Okay, the last few entries were kind of heavy, so let's go for a lighter one. Tony Todd is an iconic character actor with classics like The Crow and The Rock, and appearances on various Star Trek series under his belt. Yet he is probably best remembered for playing the deadly yet romantic figure Candyman. Based on a short story by Clive Barker, Candyman is a modern-day boogeyman that has spawned sequels and a requel. However, try as filmmakers might, it's hard to capture that same magic as the original. In a harrowing finale, bees pour out of the actor's mouth. In interviews, Todd explained that a dental dam was used to keep the bees from actually going down his throat. Wisely, though, Todd only agreed to do the scene provided that he get paid an extra $1,000 for every bee sting he received. This earned the actor a cool $25,000 for his pain, which is not too shabby. Countless books and documentaries are floating around about horror films that are reportedly cursed. Heck, I even talked briefly about some in this video. Yet this entry is about a non-horror movie that is reported to have captured strange images baked right into the celluloid. While looking for inspiration for a fun short film, a filmmaker found some old 16mm black and white film stock discarded in a bag. Now, film isn't cheap, so this seemed to be incredibly lucky. The old film stock also gave him an idea for his movie, an homage to silent stars of yesteryears. After banging out a screenplay, Return to Babylon was born. The film is a comedy drama depicting the real-life scandals of Hollywood's silent era. It co-stars Bride of Chucky actress Jennifer Tilly. To further give the movie a more authentic feel, real Hollywood mansions were used, most of which were considered to be hotbeds of paranormal activity. Cast and crew experienced noises and feelings of being spied on. More horrifically, Jennifer Tilly felt an unseen force grab her. Now, all these reports could be chalked up to clever marketing, yet remember, this is a comedy drama, not a horror film. The most disturbing aspect, however, wouldn't come until the editor sat down to cut the film. At times, actors' faces would randomly warp and become distorted and just ghastly and grotesque looking. Figures can be seen that weren't there during the shooting, and here's an image of what looks to be Fatty Arbuckle, a famous silent film star. These weird images were tested, though no explanation could be found. What exactly caused this weird phenomena remains a mystery, but one thing is certain, it's pure nightmare fuel. Tim Curry gave a generation of kids nightmares as Pennywise the Clown in the adaptation of Stephen King's It. However, in 2017 and 2019, Bill Skarsgård took up the white grease paint in his own take on the fictional boogeyman. The first film alone grossed nearly $1 billion, with the second bringing almost $500 million. It's safe to say that audiences were terrified of Pennywise. But it seems that the dancing clown also freaked out Skarsgård during the filming of both chapters. Skarsgård has stated that the role took a toll on his mental health, calling it a destructive relationship, and that his time as the killer interdimensional being was, quote, miserable, end quote. It seems that touching this kind of darkness has a price, as each night the actor would have nightmares about Pennywise. It's freaky to think that after a long day of being Pennywise, you close your eyes and you are haunted by him. Thankfully, Skarsgård is back, playing in horror movies and even returning as the icon for the series Welcome to Derry. While watching the new Child's Play documentary, Talk of Chuck, I came across a fun bit of trivia, a fact so obscure some of the main cast didn't even know about it. Now, we all know that the iconic voice of Chucky is Brad Dourif, who also plays Charles Lee Ray. The story goes that Dourif was away filming when it was time to record Chucky's voice in doll form. Director Tom Holland got inspiration from The Exorcist and how the demon was voiced by a woman. So, an interesting casting choice was decided upon: Jessica Walters, who is now best remembered for shows like Arrested Development, Archer, and movies like Play Misty for Me. As Holland put it, Walters was good, but it didn't sound right. Paraphrasing, he said, she didn't have that evil glee that Dourif brought to the role. Thankfully, once his schedule cleared up, the character actor came in and recorded his lines, and horror history was born. However, it's kind of wild to think that a legend of the big and small screen almost added Chucky to her roster of iconic roles. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I wanted to try something new for the Halloween season. Let me know some other cool horror movie trivia, and if the video does well enough, maybe I'll do a second one. I love hearing from y'all, so please chime in the comments. I linked the sources to my video in the description. Also, while you're here, maybe check out these videos, and I'll see y'all in the next one.